Hello, hello, hi. So that is Atmanibhar Bharat Abhiyan. We have discussed the part 1 and the part 2. So that is Atmanibhar Bharat Abhiyan. Part 1 deals with about 15 points. That is the measures announced to the MSMEs, Employment Provident Fund, NBFCs and discoms. That is the 15 points are there in part 1. And part 2 is particularly related to the what poor people and migrant laborers and the farmers. That is a part 2. Now this is a part 3. Now we are discussing. We are going to discuss the part 3. The part 3 is completely related to the what? So agriculture infrastructure. The part 3 is saying that measures to strengthen the infrastructure of the logistics and the capacity building in the agriculture sector. And this is the part 3 of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. So under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, that is the part 3, measures to strengthen the infrastructure, logistics and the capacity building in the agriculture sector. So in order to build the agriculture sector, they are announced the some of the reforms and the fund allocation. That is agriculture infrastructure fund, that is a 1 lakh crore rupees, and micro food enterprises, that is a 10,000 crore rupees. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana 20,000 crore rupees. National Animal Disease Control Program 10,000 crore. Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund 15,000 crore. Herbal Cultivation 4,000 crores, and beekeeping infrastructure 500 crores. And the tomatoes, onions, potatoes, that is a top program to the what all top to the total. So that is a 500 crores. And again these are the schemes, and again they want to make the some of the reforms by modifying the some of the act. They want to modify the Essential Commodities Act to enable the better price realization for the what farmers, and they want to make the agriculture marketing reforms to provide the better marketing choices to the what farmers. And again they want to make the some changes in the what, so this agriculture produce and the quality assurance, agriculture produce price and the quality assurance for the predictable prices of the crops at the what time of sowing. Right, these are the 11 measures announced under the what agriculture infrastructure. We will discuss one by one. So with agriculture infrastructure, MFE, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, National Animal Disease Control, Animal Husbandry, Herbal Cultivation, and beekeeping, and the fruits and vegetables, and the some of the reforms. Right now, right, we will discuss one by one. Now, first one is the, so that is the government of India allocated the 1 lakh crore rupees of the agriculture infrastructure fund. 1 lakh crore rupees of the agriculture infrastructure fund for the what? Farm gate infrastructure for the what? Farm gate infrastructure for the what? Farmers. Right, we will explain so in detailed manner. So now let us discuss that the Indian agriculture, how the Indian agriculture implemented the reforms. So since phase 1 1947 to the 1964 time, in India generally we are concentrated mostly on the fertilizers and the pesticide factories. And the 1965 to the what 1985, then we are concentrated on the irrigation and infrastructure, particularly green revolution, right? So that is a white revolution, and these type of the revolution, which means we are concentrated on the what, increasing of the production. And the phase 3 1985 to the 19 almost 2000 year, so we are concentrated on the conservation and cultivation and consumption of the agriculture. So how to conserve the species and the cultivation of the new species and the consumption methods. And the fourth phase from the 2001 to the 2010 year, we are concentrated on the technology extension, particularly that biotechnology, use of the nanotechnology and the agriculture. In the 2011 to the 2020, so we are concentrated on the technology integration and the cluster development, means development of the industries in the particular area, that is known as a cluster. And now the 2020 onwards, now we are concentrating mostly on the what, post harvest management. Now assume that, so agriculture loss in the field and the post harvest, right? What is agriculture loss? Let's take analyze. So this is the case of the what, grain. So in India is the largest grain producer, that is a 241 million tons of the food grains are producing in India. 10% of the grains of the are lost every year, which is equal to what, 24 million tons, right? So that is a clear drying of the crops. At the drying of the crops, we are losing the what, 15% of the wastage, and at the testing time 10% of the wastage, storage time 22% of the wastage, and transportation time 12% of the wastage, and other losses are 16% of the wastage generally. So we are losing the, so this almost 10% of the grains lost every year. This is the general the percentage how we are, right? So losing the grains after the what, harvesting of the crop. So after the harvesting of the crop, this is a loss. That's why, so we need to manage, we need to control the these type of the losses. If you consider the 1 kg 5 rupees per the 1 kg, then the loss in India is the what, 12,000 crore rupees per the year. So if you consider that loss, so that's why we need to manage the early crops for the post harvest management. That's why the government of India, so that is allocated the, so 1 lakh crore rupees for the what agriculture infrastructure fund, for the what farm gate, for the infrastructure of the what farmers. Farm means agriculture field to the what gate means what, so that is factories gate or otherwise house gate. So now what is the government of India we are going to do with that 1 lakh? Lack of the adequate cold chain facility and the post harvest management infrastructure. So that in order to develop the cold chains, that is a construction of the big refrigerator, all this one, in order to construct the what cold chains and the post harvest management infrastructure, so government of India allocated the 1 lakh crore rupees, 1 lakh crore rupees fund for the what funding of the agriculture infrastructure projects, right? So that is a very important, and this is only for the what development of the what post to harvest management infrastructure. After the cultivation of the so crop, what are the infrastructure is required? Infrastructure is required go downs, infrastructure is required transportation facilities, and under the infrastructure we require the cold storages, and infrastructure we require the what so processing, and the infrastructure we require the packaging. So all these are required only after harvesting of the crop. So harvesting of the products here, the field loss due to the what pests and diseases and the rodents, and pre-processing insufficient of the what drying and milling, again the loss, and intermediate transport spillage and leakage, and lack of cold storage, and its processing and packaging, and the container departments, and the wastage in the ports and the railways. So all these are the complete loss only. So that's why we need to minimize these loss. In order to minimize these losses, so we are allocated the what 1 lakh crore rupees of the fund for the development of the what agriculture infrastructure, that is a construction of the cold chains, whatever it may be required for that purpose. And second one is the 10,000 crore rupees of the scheme is for the what formalization of the what micro food enterprises in India. So micro food enterprises, so what the enterprises which are engaged in the processing of the food materials. So diagram whatever we are seeing, this is the mega food parks. Mega food park means, so they will allocate one area to the some area, allocate the some area, in that area that is a complete only food industries will be developed in that particular area. So all the food will be processed and packaged and the what exported to the some other countries. These type of the areas are known as what food mega food parks. Then the government of India in the right long back, when the UPA government, that is Congress government is there, at that time only that government is decided we need to establish the total 42 mega food parks in India. 42 mega food parks in India. So in the last 10 years we are established only some the like in the Punjab near the Ludhiana, Haryana, in the Gujarat. So some areas we are established the mega food parks long ago. So that is Orissa in the Kurda, Andhra Pradesh in the Krishna district, Telangana and Khammam and the Mahbub Nagar. So right, the in Madhya Pradesh that is a Ruchi Akroni. So Kerala Allapuja and Palakkad, and Tamil Nadu Krishnagiri. So in all these areas we are established the what mega food parks. Mega food parks means, so that is an industry where entire food will be processed and packaged and exported to the what some other areas. So this was a old scheme, right? So on the same lines, now the what is the government of India saying that, so that is a we need to, what is the scheme here announced government of India, 10,000 crore rupees of the scheme for the what formalization of the micro food enterprises. Formalization of the micro food enterprises. The scheme promotes the what vocal for the local with global outreach. We need to manufacture our local goods, and we need to export to the what other countries, right? So that is a, so a scheme will launch to help the 2 lakh micro food enterprises to attain the above goals. So existing food micro enterprises and farm producer organizations and self-help groups and cooperatives are supported. Now cluster based approach, this is very important. So this whatever the fund allocated here, the whatever the 10,000 crores are allocated, and these 10,000 crores are used for the what, so this purpose, that is a cluster based approach. What is mean by cluster based approach? For example, mango cluster in UP, Kesar cluster in Jammu Kashmir, and bamboo shoots in the northeastern India, and chili in Andhra Pradesh, right? So Tyopica in the Tamil Nadu, right? So like that, turmeric in Telangana, and these are the right areas where they are establishing the what. So cluster means one area will be allocated, in that areas particular industry will be developed. So in the Andhra Pradesh, that is a very famous for the mango, that's why so they are developing the specialized area with a mango cluster. And Telangana, the Nizamabad district is famous for the turmeric, and we are developing the turmeric cluster in the what, so Nizamabad. So that's why, so these are some areas, the cluster means areas will be developed, and that areas are, in that areas particular industry will be established, and that will be processed and packaged and exported to the other countries, like that cluster based approach they want to approach. And these are the very big size of the industries. Which one? Mega food parks are the very big size areas. So these are the 10,000 crores for the what formalization of the what micro food enterprises. So now these clusters are very small, clusters are in the small in size, but in the mega food parks are large in size. That is the only difference. Otherwise both are having the same type of infrastructure, both are same. But this is the cluster based approach is a new concept proposed under the Atmanibhar Bharat Abhiyan, and these mega food parks of the is that old scheme. Now we are developing the this cluster based approach only, so with parallel to the what mega food parks. Right, what is the benefit to the clusters? So securing the larger contracts. If you are producing the particular goods only in the particular area, then automatically the farmers will benefit. Securing the larger contracts and the greater presence in the marketplace and guidance from the experienced people. Now, what is the economic benefit? Sharing the pool of the resources and sharing the business development operating costs and access to the new technology. And environmental decongesting from the units in the urban areas, ensure the environmental safety standard and pollution always under the check. So social benefit, employment generation, compliances to the trade related barriers, and ensure the enhanced security to the startup base. And these are the benefits you are going to get if you establish the cluster. Cluster means group of industries will be established in the particular area which will produce the same product, same produce. Turmeric cluster means so all industries in that particular place will produce our turmeric only. Mango cluster means all the industries will produce what only mango, different varieties of the mango. Right, next third one is a 20,000 crore rupees of the so fund is allocated for the what, so that is a fisherman. So that is under the scheme name of the what Pradhana Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Matsya means fish, Sampada means wealth, so we need to create the what wealth. So Pradhana Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Now that if you take the consideration of the so the production, so all India level production of the fishery is the 125 lakh tons, that is the 2017 and the 18 data. If you go to the 18-19, that is almost that 130 lakh tons only, that is almost now present we are having the 130 lakh tons. So that always that is the right range from the 125 to 130 lakhs, that is varies same 125 to the 130, that is the average so fish production in India. So 125 to the 130 lakh tons. Now Andhra Pradesh standing the first place with the 34.5 lakh tons, and West Bengal is the second place, and the Gujarat third place, and Tamil Nadu so fifth place, and completely what so 125 so lakh tons. That exports value is about 45,000 crore rupees. Now 45,000 crore rupees of the exports we are doing, that fish trend in exports of the marine products is about 45,000 crore rupees. That is the total production is a 125 lakh tons, and this was general. Now what is the government of India allocated now? 20,000 crore rupees are allocated especially for the development of the what fishery sector. So with the scheme name of the what Pradhana Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Right now, so that government under this one, so under Pradhana Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, government is allocated the what integrated, sustainable, inclusive development of the marine and the inland fisheries. So you try to understand marine and plus what inland fisheries. So that is 11,000 crore rupees are for the activities in the marine and inland fisheries and aquaculture, and the 9,000 crore rupees for the infrastructure, especially developed for the what fishing harbors and the cold chain and market facilities and transportation vehicles and like that. So that is a total 20,000 crore rupees. 11,000 plus 9,000. 11,000 for the development of the what fishing activities, and a 9,000 crore for the development of the what infrastructure facilities for the what fishing. So these are the total 20,000 crore rupees allocated for the what under the what Pradhana Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Now what is what are the benefit we are going to achieve through this investment? So that government of India says that we are investing in the 20,000 crore rupees. So because of the this investment, we are going to achieve the what additional fish production of the what 70 lakh tons by over the 5 years, which means now present is the 130 lakh tons, that is I said that average is the 125 to the 130. So that is government of India saying that 70 lakh tons of the additional fish production by the next 5 years, which means that will reach the what 200 lakh tons by the what 2025 from the present 130 tons. So 130 lakh tons to the what 200 lakh tons by the which year 2025, that is the increasing of the 70 lakh tons over the next 5 years. So that is the government of India target, and which will provide the employment over to the what 55 lakh persons, and it will double the export. Now the exports are now present exports are the what 45,000 crore rupees is the present exports. Now it will going to double, almost it will reach the what 1 lakh crore rupees of the exports. Is the 1 lakh crore rupees of the export. That was the strategy. So only 5 points we need to remember. 20,000 crore rupees allocated, 11,000 for the fishing grounds, and 9,000 crore for the development of the infrastructure, fishery infrastructure. And what is the benefit we are going to achieve? The government is expecting that a additional 70 lakh tons will increase, and that to almost reach the 2 lakh 100 tons 2 lakh tons of the fish production by the which year 2025, with the cost of the that is exports cost is about 1 lakh crore rupees, and 55 lakh persons. Next one, aquaculture in India. This was the FAO, that is a Food and Agriculture Organization, is given the data that in India, so generally marine fishery is going gradually reducing. If you observe that 1986, 1996, 2006 and 2016 and 2030, the share of the aquaculture and share of the capture fisher means directly you can go to the oceans and you can directly catch the fish, but the share of the aquaculture means artificial ponds, we are artificially growing the fishes, that is known as share of the aquaculture, and this is the normal fishery wherever the freely available, right? The 1986, 77% is the so fish capture, 23% is farmers are cultivating the aquaculture. Now gradually 77, 67, 55, 47, it will reach the 38 only. Now the 62% of the fishery production is coming only through the aquaculture production, which means there is no natural resources, we are feeding and we are cultivating the so aquaculture, so that is a 62%, now gradually reducing. Now fourth one is the animal disease control program. So this is the animal disease control program, it's not the new program which was announced in the budget also in the and which was started in the May 2019 itself. So in the last year May 2019, the government of India started this one national disease control program, and the same program is again announced in the budget 2020, and the same program now announced under the Pradhan Mantri Bharat Abhiyan also. So why they are announced under this scheme we don't know, but so already they are announced in the May 2019, already announced in the budget, again the same scheme included under Atmanibhar Bharat Abhiyan also. Anyway, we need to read for the exam purpose. Right, animal disease control program. So for this purpose, the government of India allocating the 10,000 crore rupees for the animal disease control program. It was originally started in the May 2019. So generally to ensure the 100% of the vaccination for the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat and the pig population. That is the total population of the 53 crores of the animals are there in India. So total 53 crores of the animals are there in India. So here the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat and pig populations are there. Right here. So for all these animals we are providing the 100% of the vaccination. Which vaccination? So generally all these animals will suffer with the two diseases. Majorly two diseases will affect these animals always. One is the foot and the mouth disease, and second one is the brucellosis. FMD we call foot and mouth disease, and second one is the brucellosis, and these are the two diseases always infected to the these animals. So that's why we need to protect the animals from the FMD and the brucellosis. So till date 1.5 crores of the cows and buffaloes are tagged and vaccinated since May 2019. So and remaining 55.5 crores of the will be covered from the 2020 to the 2025. Next in 5 years they will cover. Total 53 crores of the animals are there in India. So otherwise once you check this data, so 53 crores of the animals. So this is this one totally. So cattle 192 millions and 109 millions of the buffalo, and sheep is a 74 millions, goat is a 148, pig is a 9 millions, and mithun, all these are very small numbers. Total that 535 millions, that is a 53.5 crores of the animals are there in the India total. So total animals 53.5 crores. Now we are giving the vaccination majorly concentrating on the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat and the pig, because these are the negligible percentage, but we are majorly concentrating on the cattle, buffalo, sheep and the goat. This is the so according to the 2009, so 2009 census, very recent census, 192 million, 109 million, 74 million, 148 million and the so 99 million. So these are we are covering. So for all these animals are suffering with the two diseases, always they will suffer with the two diseases, and one is about foot and mouth diseases, and second one is about brucellosis. Now through this vaccination the government of India targeted that to control the disease by the 2025 and eradicate it completely from the India by the 2030 year. We need to eradicate the disease from the India by 2030. So for this purpose we are providing the vaccination to the all the animals at the free of cost. For this purpose we are allocated the 10,000 crore rupees we are allocated right now. So what is this 10,000 crore rupees we are allocated? So in case of the foot and mouth disease scheme envisages vaccination to the 30 crores of the bovines, that is the cow bulls and the buffaloes, and the 20 crore sheep and the goat, and 1 crore pigs at the 6 months interval, along with the what primary vaccination in the what bovine level. So this is the, so for every 6 months we will provide the what vaccination to the all these animals. So 30 crores of the bovines we are covering, and the 20 crores of the sheep and goats are we are covering, and 1 crores of the what pigs we are covering, right? Now, while brucellosis control program shall be extended to cover the entire 100% vaccination with what 3.6 crores of the female calves. So I will explain what is this meaning. So right now, what is the foot and mouth disease? That foot and mouth disease is generally, so when the it is the generally here that viral infection. So generally they will these animals will go everywhere, and they will right sleep in everywhere, somewhere in right in the forest area or everywhere. Generally they are easily susceptible to the what infections. So that is a foot and mouth disease is right viral infection. So whenever the any animal is infected with the this foot and mouth disease, automatically, particularly in the female cattle, so there is a milk loss up to the 100%. There is loss of the milk up to the what 100%, particularly in the what, so cows and the buffaloes get infected with the FMD, the milk loss is about up to 100% of the milk loss, and the disease will continue last for the what 4 to the what 6 months, and 4 to the what 6 months. Now what are the symptoms? Symptoms of the foot and mouth disease is the blisters inside the mouth, and the blisters on the feet of the what feet that ruptures and causes the what lameness. See here, these are the blisters. So that is a blisters on the mouth, and the same type of the blisters also developed on the what legs also. So that is right. So that is a blisters on the legs and the blisters on the mouth. That's why the disease is named as a foot and mouth disease. That blisters will be developed on the foot, and the blisters will be developed on the what mouth. So that's why it is known as what foot and the mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease, that is a blisters. So this is a viral infection. Exam purpose, this is very important. Viral infection. So if they are infected, that is a milk loss is the 100%, and the symptoms is the what excessive secretion. So whenever there are blisters are developed, then automatically there is a continuous secretion of the saliva from the this mouth, and continuously, so you will get the what saliva from the mouth, right? So that is a blisters and continuous saliva, and the same types of the blisters also develop on the legs of the animal also, right? So this is the foot and mouth diseases. So now next one is about brucellosis, and brucellosis is the bacterial infection. Remember that B for brucellosis and B for bacteria. So brucellosis is the bacterial infection, and here the milk production will be reduced by the what 30%. So but the symptoms are that this is especially brucellosis will affected to the what generally female calves are very susceptible to more this one, because when the female cattle is infected with female cattle or buffalo is infected with these type of the brucellosis, and there will be abortion and stillborn baby and weak cough burn and retention of the female fetal membranes and infection, right? So in the males separately, that is a swollen testicles in the what bulls, right? This is right. So weak animals, so that is a whatever that this child is there, and this child is very weak, cough is very weak. So that is right. Otherwise there is abortion is possible, and the stillborn is also possible. Weak cough burn will be one due to the infection of the what brucellosis. Brucellosis is the what bacterial infection, and during the entire cycle of the animal, the brucellosis causes the infertility among the animals. So that is infertility lead to the what abortions, stillborn, weak cough burn, and these are the brucellosis. So that's why government of India is right, so giving the vaccination to the these two diseases, foot and the mouth diseases and the brucellosis. Now come back to the that point whatever I left here. So while the brucellosis is the control program shall be extended to cover the 100% of the vaccination of the what 3 crores of the female calves. That is very important. So that is especially infect the what females. Males also infected with this disease, but the impact is very less. So foot and the what mouth disease, right? Now animal husbandry infrastructure development fund, so that is the right. So 15,000 crore rupees allocated specially for the what animal husbandry infrastructure development fund. So in the livestock 2000 population India, what, so almost 33% of the India's is having the cattle only 20% buffalo, sheep is the 13%, and goat is the 27%, and the pig is the 1.69%. So as for the 2019 census, now look at that cattle is 192 millions, buffalo 109 millions, and sheep is the 74 millions, goat is 148, and pig is a 9.6, and remaining are the very small negligible number, and total is about 535 millions of the 535 million livestock population is there in India. So in the 2012 it is 512, now it is 535, that is increment is there. So that is a 4.6% of the growth is there. Now the which states having the more? Uttar Pradesh is having the 67.8 million so livestock populations, followed by the So Rajasthan and the Madhya Pradesh 40.6 million and West Bengal 37.4. Bihar is a 36.5. Andhra Pradesh is having the 34 millions, that is in the sixth rank in India, and Telangana is having the 32.6 million. So livestock population, that is about eighth place in India in the overall livestock population, right? So Andhra Pradesh sixth place and Telangana is what, eighth place, and first place is the what, Uttar Pradesh with respect to the livestock population. So that government of India stating that many areas in the country milk is the high milk production is there, and even India is the largest producer of the milk in the world and the largest consumer of the milk in the world also, and having the great potential for the private investment in the dairy sector, aim to support the private investment in the dairy processing and the value addition and the cattle feed structure. So animal husbandry infrastructure development 15,000 crores will be set up, and incentives to be given establishment of the plants for the what, exports of the what, niche products, which means we need to product the what, so some of the infrastructure which is required for the what, dairy development. So that is a cold storage are required, and especially in order to transport the milk we require the what, vehicles equipped with the what, AC conditioners, air conditioner, vehicles are required, right? So those type of this one, and infrastructure especially dairy product, maybe dairy milk chocolate, or maybe any chocolates you are producing from the milk, they are easily what, spoils. So that's why, so some infrastructure is required to store them. So generally this is the, in one word I can say that, so this infrastructure is specially for the what, development of the animal husbandry infrastructure development fund what, 15,000 crores. It is majorly concentrating on the what, dairy products, majorly concentrating on the dairy product, that is a 15,000 crore rupees. So that infrastructure will be developed especially for the what, dairy products. And promotion of the herbal cultivation. Herbal cultivation is the what, medicinal plant. So cultivation of the what, medicinal plants, whatever the medicinal plants are there. Present national medicinal plant board is cultivating the only 2.25 lakhs of the hectares area under the what, medicinal plants. Now the government of India is estimating that, so government of India targeted now under the Atmanibhar Bharat Abhiyan 1 lakh hectares. So now the government of India concentrating on the, so this the hectares will be covered under the what, herbal cultivation in the next 2 years with the outlay of the what, 4,000 crore rupees, right? Sorry, the 10 lakh crore, 10 lakh hectares, 10 lakh hectares are will be covered under the herbal cultivation in the next 2 years with outlay of the what, 4,000 crore rupees, which will lead to the increasing of the what, 5,000 crores of the income generation for the what, farmers. If you invest the 4,000 crore rupees, and it will generate the investment of the what, 5,000 crore rupees for the farmers, and this investment will remain lifelong. Means the investment is, once you invested, that infrastructure will be useful for that one. So that is originally now the 2.5 lakh hectares only there now in India, so we are large target is there right now. So and 800 hectares of the area developing a corridor of the medicinal plant along the banks of the Ganga. So whenever the Ganga banks are there, so along the sides of the Ganga banks, and they are developing the what, a chain of the medicinal plants. So 25 most demandable herbal plants in India. So generally these are the 25, no need for examination, only for understanding I included it. So ashwagandha, and especially most of the people know the ashwagandha, and again the most of the people know that this shankupushpi, and most of the people also know the senna, right? And these are the very right Indian barberry. So these are the right, so and one also brahmi, and these are the what, familiar to us, and remaining are not familiar to us, but generally, so these are the most 25 demand herbal plants in India. Ashwagandhas, right? And beekeeping for the what, 500 crores for the development of the what, so sweet revolution. So examination possible question is the what is the sweet revolution? Sweet revolution is not the sugarcane production. Sweet revolution is the what, increasing of the what, honey bee production. So honey production, increasing of the honey bee production, honey production is known as what, sweet revolution, not the sugar production, right? In order to develop the what, these especially for the cultivation of the these honeybees, so we require the special type of the equipments are required, and the and everything is different. So that cold storage are required, and bottles are required, and packaging is required, and processing is required, and for the cultivation also we require some different equipments also required, everything is required. So that's why the government of India now concentrating on the sweet revolution, the 500 crore rupees are allocated. First 500 crore rupees are allocated especially for the development of the what, so increasing the yield and quality of the crops through the pollination, and provide the honey and other beehive products like wax. The infrastructure development related to the integrated beekeeping development centers, and collection and marketing and storage centers, and the post harvest and the value addition facility, which means everything is related to the what, beekeeping infrastructure only, right? So implementation, right, especially it will give the what, more thrust to the what, women. So it will lead to increasing the income of the what 2 lakh beekeepers. See here. So in order to cultivate the bees, these type of the what boxes are required. In these boxes, and that is all these honey bees will grow in these type of the boxes, right? So again this person is wear some different type of the dress, and this type of the specialized dress also required, and these types of specialized boxes are required, and within the boxes we have the meshes also required. Again we need to clean the all these meshes. So that is the bee cultivation is not the easy task. So that's why so government of India is saying that separate fund is required. Beekeeping development center, collection, marketing, storage center, post harvest validation, everything is required. So that's why now we are concentrating on the what sweet revolution. For this purpose we are allocated about 500 crore rupees. And next one, from the top to the total. So that the top to the total, the top scheme fund allocation is 500. So this top is not the new scheme, the top is the old scheme. Only in the 2018-19 budget the government of India allocated the started the new scheme known as what Operation Greens. So that Operation Greens means generally potato, tomato, onion, only three products are covered: potato, tomato, onion. So that is the government will control the prices of these three products: potato, tomato, onion. Prices are controlled by the what government of India. So that is known as what Operation Greens, right? To address the price volatility of the perishable commodities like potato, tomato, and onion. So these potato, tomato, onion prices are controlled by the what government of India. So that is Operation Greens, right? Now, so distress sale and reduction in the price of the perishable goods and vegetables to the farm level needs. Now the government of India what Operation Grill will be extended. Initially Operation Greens launched in the 2018, that was extended to the what tomato, onion, potatoes only. Now top, that is T for tomato, O for what onion, P for what potato. Now it is extended to the what all fruits and the vegetables, all fruits and vegetable, that is the what total. Earlier it was extended to the what only vegetables, that is the tomato, onion, and the what potatoes. Now it is included fruits also. Now it is extended the what foods and also vegetables also. The scheme is, and 50% of the subsidy on the transportation from the surplus to the deficit markets, and 50% of the subsidies on the storage, including the what cold storage. This is a pilot for the what 6 months. It will be expanded and extended. Now that they will test for the 6 months, and if it's successful it will be extended to the what some other areas also. 50%, 50 subsidies are giving. 50% for the transportation facilities and 50% for the storage, including the what cold storage. So that is a total. So initially it was successful only in the case of the what potato, onion, and the tomato. So generally why means in order to control the what prices, in order to control the what prices, we have seen that onion prices are suddenly increased. So in the recent past, then automatically why, so when the onion shortage is there, then they will export from the, so where export from the some areas where there is a availability of the market to the what deficit market areas. So in that case, so if we are bringing the if the Telangana is facing the shortage of the onions, then we are bringing the onions from the Maharashtra. Then the, so that is the transportation. For the transportation, the government will provide the what 50% subsidy, and 50% subsidy for the storage, including the what cold storage also. And now for the fruits and the vegetable, this scheme is extended. So when you are storing in the cold storages, means automatically will release into the market. In the market the price will be reduced. If the cold storages are not there, then automatically that entire that fruits and vegetables will be what spoiled, then automatically prices will increases. The major objective of this scheme is to control the prices only. Next one, the grievances. That is a, so government of India want to modify the what some of the acts, that is amendments to the what essential commodities acts to for the act to enable the what better price realization for the what farmers. So this was act was enacted in the 1955, later modified in the 2016, later modified in the 2009 also. Now they are modifying in the 2020. What is the government of India saying? The essential price commodities act will generally control the prices of the essential goods. Now they here they include the what, so that is drugs. Some of the drugs, like if you go to the medical hall, some of the drugs will have the what ceiling of the what prices. You cannot increase the prices more than whatever the price decided by the government. For all these good, government will fix the some price, and they need to sell that price only. They should not increase the prices as per their own wish. So because they comes under what essential commodities, which means in order to control the prices of the essential commodities, they are enacted this act in the 1955. We are same we are following still. Fertilizers, foodstuffs, including the edible oils and oil seeds and oils, and hank yarn is only made from the what cotton and petroleum products, and raw jute and jute textiles, and seed for the food crops, and seed of the fruits and the vegetables, and seed of the cattle fodder, and the jute seeds. All these are the general goods which comes under the what essential commodities act. Now the what is the government means essential commodity act means all these goods prices is controlled by the what government only. So because they are essential. So now the what is the government of India saying that agriculture foodstuffs including the cereals, edible oils, oil seeds, onions and potatoes to be deregulated. Deregulated, which means the government of India is saying that in the future we are removing these goods from the Essential Commodities Act, that price will not be controlled by the government, price will be based on the what market demand and supply only. This was a that one of the negative step of the government of India, and that is economists are criticizing. If you are removing the all these goods from the these essential commodities act, then automatically the private persons will increase the what prices of the goods. So why the what is the government of India? Why the what is the intention of the government of India? Government of India is saying that so if the prices are controlled under the essential commodity tax, then the farmers have to sell the whatever the prices decided by the what the government. So that's why farmers are not getting the extra income because the prices are controlled by the what government. So that's why the what the government is now saying that if the farmers want to get the more benefit, then the price should be what the prices of the these commodities should be what deregulated, which means that is fully decided by the what demand and supply for the goods in the what market only. So that's why that is the foodstuffs including the cereals and oil seeds and pulses, onions and potatoes. If these are deregulated means that is the price is not decided by the government of India, that will be removed from the essential commodity acts, and that will price is decided by the what only market forces, that is the demand and supply. So that is there is a chance to increasing the prices of this one, the private persons will right increase the prices. This is one of the negative step. And the stock limit to be imposed under the very exceptional circumstances like the right now the earlier there was a one law is there under the essential commodity tax. So onions or the food grains or potatoes whatever they are there, they should not store the some whatever that they want. So there is a limit even for the storage. Please try to understand, there is a limit for the every person to store the what these potatoes and food grains and all, there is a limit should be there on the storage. So the stock limit is there. Now the government of India want to remove the so stock limit also. Now the government of India want to deregulation of the prices, and now the government of India want to what limit the stock limit, which means you can store whatever the amount you want. There will be no search and seize operations from the government of India, and these are the two reforms proposed. But generally, so this will be opposed by the most of the these agriculture organizations, and some of the economists are opposing this one, because if you are removing the from the essential commodities act and you are removing the stock limit, means you are paving the way for the what private people to rise there, because they will purchase the more at the time of the what when the low prices, and automatically they will hold in their go downs, and automatically they will create the black market and they will rise the prices, and again they will release into the what market. So that will become complete black market strategy. So this is two are very dangerous steps. And agriculture marketing reforms to provide the marketing choices, right? So central will be provided that, so that is the barrier free interstate, so adequate choices for the farmer to sell the produce attractive farmer. So what is agriculture marketing reform? That so that farmers should bound to sell the agriculture produce only to the what licensed APMCs. Such a restriction for sale is not there for any industrial produce, result hindrances to the following agriculture produce. Now generally, if the farmer want to sell their agriculture produce, whatever they are cultivated, paddy or wheat or rice, they cannot sell to the anywhere in the market, they can sell only to the, so that the dealers who are having the what license. So because of the license, because that when there are licensed people, limited licensed members are there, there is no choice for the farmers so to sell it to the more number of the people. For example, one market is there, in one market only 2% got the license to buy the what buy the these food grains from the what farmers, then automatically they have to sell these food grains to the either X person or Y person, because only two persons are available, X and Y. So if the X and Y are together decide the same price, then automatically they have the no choice, they have to either sell to the X or they have to sell the Y. So there is no more number, a limited number of the people are available. If the limited number of the people are available, automatically price will not be increases, because that will become monopoly. So that's why the government of India now saying that we are going to remove this option now. So you can sell the agriculture produce to the anyone, not only for the licensed people, even who are not possessing even license also, you can sell your agriculture produce to the those people also who are not having the what licenses. That is a new reform. And again the barrier free interstate free state, so you can sell your agriculture produce anywhere in India. So the government of India is saying that barrier free interstate trade, so one state to the what another state, they will we will provide the some measures so to do the what trade throughout the what India without any hindrances or without any barriers, right? So barrier free interstate. Last one is agriculture produce. So agriculture produce price and the quality assurance, that quality assurances. So if you want to export to the other countries, there should be a quality should be there, right? So when their quality is there, then only it will be exported to the what other countries. So that's why, so agriculture produce and quality assurance will be improved. So farmers lack the enforceable standard mechanism for the what predictable prices of the crops at the time of the sowing. The private sector investment in the, so that facilitate the legal framework created enable the farmers, processors, aggregators, legal retailers for the fair and transparent manner. Risk mitigation for the farmer ensures assure returns and quality standards shall be in the form of the what integral part of the framework, right? So now what is the these meaning of the these 4 points is that, so government of India will issue the rules and regulations in order to increase the what quality of the what agriculture produce. That is the only point. All these points summary is the only one point, that is that, so we need to increase the what quality and we need to what produce the what prices. They will establish one mechanism. So when assume that in the June month when we are sowing the seeds, we don't know the how much price will be there for the particular. For example, you are sowed the cotton seeds and the cotton will be grown and cotton balls will be collected in the month of the what October. So you don't know the price of the cotton when you are cultivating in the June month. So that is the right, so that farmers are unable to guess the price of that generally crops whatever they are cultivating. For the some of the crops, government of India releases MSP initially only, but some other crops are not, some crops are not having the any idea regarding the prices in the future. The farmers are lacking the what standard mechanism for the what predictable prices. So government of India now want to establish the one standard mechanism for the what predictable prices of the crops at the time of the what sowing of the seeds. And second one is the what government of India want to increase the quality assurance, and the government of India want to develop the what, so one mechanism for the what predictable prices of the what goods agriculture produces. That are the reforms announced by the, so this government. So under the what name of the what agriculture infrastructure, these are the right agriculture infrastructure 1 lakh crore, micro enterprises 10,000 crore, Matsya Sampada, national animal disease control, two diseases are there, foot and mouth disease and brucellosis, animal husbandry, right? And next one herbal cultivation and beekeeping and tomatoes, essential commodity tax modification, agriculture marketing reforms, and agriculture produce and the what quality assurance. Marketing reforms means what, here they are limiting the removing the stock limit and they are deregulating the sum of the products from the what essential commodities. And from the market reforms is the, what is the marketing reforms, you can sell to the even non-licensed persons and the interstate barrier free trade. So those are the reforms, right? So these are the third, so third part of the what Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan.